wickets. Otherwise, the last 10 for India is going to be a challenge. Once again, the depth overs.
Absolutely. Very interesting battle this, because while India has, a lot of young faces, they don't really have a good record of late in the limited overs, and they'll be looking to overturn that. But talking of the number 7 problem, Hardik Pandya, as we teased earlier in the show as well, he just made a record of 39 runs, 34 of him coming from his bat in 1 over in the Mushtaq Trophy match. And he says he's the answer to India's number 7 problem. Let's listen into what he told us.
India is still searching for a pace bowling all-rounder that who can bat on number 7 and also take many wickets. So Hardik is the answer to Mahendra Singh Dhoni's problems?
Yes, definitely yes, I will say, because I find it myself, that's why on a lighter note I will say that people will, now India won't be looking for a number 7 batsman or a, I can bat at any number, but definitely right now India needs number 7 batter. So I will say that India will be, India won't have to search now for an all-rounder. I will be, I will be there for that.
Saurav, what do you make of Hardik Pandya's confidence? Interestingly, even though there's a Rishi Dhawan in the squad, Dhoni says we don't have a seaming all-rounder.
Yeah, that's a bit surprising though, because Rishi Dhawan gets a lot of runs in domestic cricket. He had a good season in the Vijay Hazare Trophy. With the bat, he got a few hundreds for Himachal, and I think he can bowl as well. So until and unless you give them opportunities, you don't know how good they are. But it's great to see the confidence of Hardik Pandya. I wish him all the luck. If he does that job for India, it'll be nothing like it. But whatever little bit I've seen him in the IPL, I think his bowling has got to get better at international level. He needs a bit of pace behind his bowling at the present moment. Nikhil can correct me if I'm wrong, that he bowls at around 125, 126. So he's got to get that pace up a bit in the middle 135 mark and late 130 mark if he has to succeed at that level as an all-rounder. And he's got to understand that it's not easy being an all-rounder at that level day in, day out.
Right.
So I wish him all the luck. If he can answer to Dhoni's questions of an all-rounder, nothing like it. The entire country is looking for an all-rounder at the moment.
And Saurav, it's quite interesting that Dhoni is asking a lot of questions, because he said in the press conference today, curiously, on the eve of a big challenge down under, that Indian domestic cricket is not throwing up ready-made talent like it used to. What do you think about that? He also added that Australian domestic cricket setup is better than ours. What do you make of that comment?
I really don't know what exactly Dhoni wanted to say. It's very difficult to just make a statement on what the basis of what he has said. But obviously there's a lot of domestic cricket being played. Some of the champions of Indian cricket, Dhoni himself, has come out of this system. So I really don't know what he means by saying that. But I think if he feels somebody is special, somebody like Hardik Pandya or somebody like Rishi Dhawan is special because he's looking for an all-rounder, he should straight away give him an opportunity rather than wait for him to perform at the domestic level or perform at the side games at an international level. Sometimes when you need to fill up a slot with a special kind of player and you see someone with that ability, you straight away throw him into the deep end, because that's the way you find players. I'm sure somebody like Waqar Yunus, if you remember, Imran Khan saw him at one of the club nets practicing and running and bowling, and he picked him straight from there into a test match in a week's time.
Yeah.
That's why, as a captain, you got to have an eye for the talent. You got to realize that this fellow is good and he's got the ability, and straight away give him an opportunity. Sometimes to create good teams, you have to gamble. How did Dhoni become a great one-day batsman? He was just pushed up at number 3 from nowhere, and he smashed 150 against Pakistan, and then everyone started talking about him, that he's someone who's India's answer to a wicket-keeper batsman. And the same way, I'm sure there's enough talent around in terms of bowling and batting and domestic cricket. He just needs to pick someone who he feels is good and just straight away give him an opportunity.
That's right. It's quite curious to see him making such comments. Maybe he's already becoming, an expert of sorts, or an analyst more than a captain. Reflective, very much so. MS Dhoni, Saurav and Nikhil, thanks a lot for joining us. The big challenge.